healthy Sunday school culture. In this video, we're going to be looking at 3 things you can do right now to start building a healthy class culture. But before we jump in, it's important to know that culture doesn't happen by accident. Culture is built one faithful act at a time. Think of it as building blocks. You put one down, you put another down. You don't get to the whole thing without building it one at a time. And building a healthy Sunday school culture happens one act at a time. So we're going to look at 3 things to start building that. The first one is this, is pray for your people by name. It sounds so simple, and it is, but it's something that a lot of classes neglect, or it's something that if you're already doing, well, you can continue to do it, but do it with more intentional emphasis. So pray for your people by name. We are urged to do this. In 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1, it says, "First of all, then, I urge that petitions, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for everyone." It is important to pray for people. So let's do that. Let's create a culture of prayerfulness in our Sunday school classes where people know that they're loved and they're cared for, they're prayed for, and that these same people will start praying for their classes also. Here's some things you can do to put into practice. Keep a class roll with you and keep something to write with, and you can pray for people by name, and you can write down prayer requests and remember those requests as you're praying for people. And pray through the names of the people in your class at least once during the week. It really doesn't take that long, but it needs to happen. So schedule some time to pray for the people in your class at least one time a week, and then let people know that you're praying for them. You don't have to do it in class on Sunday in front of everyone and say, "Hey, I've prayed for each of you this week." But if you let them know during the week, say it's on a Tuesday, you send someone a text message, "Hey, I just want to let you know I prayed for you. I love you. If you need anything, let me know." That goes a long way. Now, if you're teaching children, minors, children, you can send a card in the mail, something like that, to let them know. Or you can contact the parent and say, "Hey, I just want to let you know I've prayed for your son or your daughter this week. And how can I pray for you also as a family?" Would go a long way. So praying for your people. Number 2, connect outside of Sunday morning. Oftentimes we think big class fellowship, so it's hard to get everyone together. Everyone's so scheduled. Well, for children's classes, you can schedule things outside of class time, but you have to do that as a group as a whole. That takes a little bit of strategy, a little bit of administration. You can make it happen, and it's good. But if you're an adult, you can do this by meeting with people one-on-one or having some people over at your home or something like that to gather with them. But here's how you can put this into practice. Reach out to at least one class member per week outside of Sunday. Invite them for a coffee, to grab a sandwich, to do something fun, what have you. But another way you can connect outside of class is to follow up with any prayer requests that they have given, and then also notice and acknowledge if they've been absent. I have just a 2-week philosophy that I go by, and it's simply this. If someone has missed Sunday school 2 Sundays in a row and they haven't indicated that they're going to be out of town, or they haven't let you know that they're sick, or they've been called into work or something like that, follow up with them and just say, "Hey, I've noticed that you've missed. How are you doing? Everything okay?" And then they may tell you, "Well, I've been sick," or "I got called into work," or "Oh yeah, we were on vacation. Sorry, we didn't say anything." You're not the parent of the person, but what this does is when you reach out in love and care, it lets them know that you care about them and that they matter. So important. And here's the third thing, is to teach towards transformation, not just information. I could do a whole nother video series on this, but at its basic, we're not just wanting to transfer information to people. What we are seeking to do as Sunday school teachers is to watch God transform lives. He transforms our lives as we prepare to teach and when we teach, and we want to let the word do the work and transform the lives of people. So how does that happen? It's not just by information. We read in Romans 12:2, "Don't be conformed by this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Yes, you have to share information, but here's how we can put this into practice. Ask the Lord before you teach, how can people respond to your word differently this week, God? How can instead of just nodding and agreeing or just being physically present in a room, how can people respond to God's word this week? And then at the end of every lesson, end it with a clear personal application question. In other words, what will you do with what you've just been given? And then come back the next week and ask, hey, remember that question we asked? How did that go for you? Now, if you teach a curriculum from Lifeway, you have application questions that are in the curriculum. They put it there for you. You can come up with your own as well, because nobody knows your class better than you do. But if you need help with coming up with application questions, reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you. So here's a challenge for us this week. Just choose one of these three things, or you may feel led to do all three. We've covered them already, but let's revisit. Number one, here's a challenge. Pray through your class roll by name every day this week. Don't just do it once, maybe do it every day. You don't have to go through every prayer request, but pray for every person on your class roll. Second, contact someone that you haven't heard from recently. No agenda. You're just reaching out in love and care. And then third, end your next teaching lesson with a specific personal application question and give the class time to answer it, whether they know what that application needs to be right then and there, or you've got to come back the next Sunday and say, hey, remember what we asked last week? Well, how did that work out for you over these past 7 days? And give the class an opportunity to share. And sometimes awkward silences are good. I don't like silences, silent periods, dead spaces. But I've learned that I have to allow those in a teaching setting to give an opportunity for people to think and to reflect. And some people might respond right away. Some people might have to think about it. They say, oh yeah, back on Tuesday when, give them time, give them time. If we implement these three things, you're on a way to building a healthy Sunday school culture for your class. May God bless you. We'll see you at the next video.